Hello students, let's revise regarding interpersonal relationship today. So coming to the introduction, so what is interpersonal relationship? When a person or the people, when they are having the ability to communicate with each other, and as a result of that relationship, as a result of that communication, two individuals or some sort of relationship, it is occurring between two individuals, and for that relationship trust, acceptance and belief is needed. Okay, so whenever as a result of communication a relationship is occurring between an individuals, and that is made up of trust, acceptance and belief, you can call it as an interpersonal relationship. Okay, so interpersonal relationship, it is the ability to maintain the relationship as a result of communication. Clear? And it has built upon the see in our social system. If you are saying trust, acceptance, belief, everything is needed so that we can able to have a distinctive aspect of human being. Okay, so that distinctive relationship is known as interpersonal relationship. And if you're seeing nursing, it is a therapeutic process, and it is also demanding an association between peoples. So that association, it can be between the nurse and the patient, the association, it can be between the nurse and the health team members, nurse and the nursing seniors, or anybody else. Okay, so that type of relationship is known as interpersonal relationship. Now, what is the purpose of interpersonal relationship? See, always it is building a bond between the people. And when it is building a bond between the people, it is required for the personal growth and development of an individual. As a source of enjoyment, we can use it. Sense of security, we can use it. Then even we can also establish the personal identity in an individual. So whenever we are building a bond between the people, we are establishing the personal identity, we are making the personal growth and development in an individual, and also we are finding it as a source of enjoyment and also as a source of security. Okay, so that is the first purpose. Next, it is fulfilling the responsibility. So how it is fulfilling the responsibility? If you are taking the example of a nurse, it is building a positive, functional, multidisciplinary relationship. Okay, so when the nurse is working in a multidisciplinary team, and among the team or in that team, she has to communicate or she has to maintain the relationship. Either it can be an intra relationship or inter relationship. She also have to maintain the coordination, cooperation. She have to build up the understanding between the people who is working around. Then only she can able to fulfill the responsibility. Next, it is facilitating the cooperation. So how it is facilitating the cooperation? See, whenever it is developing a sense of security or comfort, say as a result of communication, it is always developing a sense of security and comfort for us. So whenever that sense of security and comfort is there, it will help us to improve the socialization and thereby facilitating the cooperation. Clear? And also it is helping to develop and maintain the positive feelings. And already I have told you that interpersonal relationship, it is built upon three factors, that is trust, respect and acceptance. So this trust, respect and acceptance are coming as a result of communication. So these are the purposes of interpersonal relationship. So coming to the types of relationships, mainly there are about 4 types of relationship. That is a friendship, the relationship within a family, then the romantic or love relationship, and the professional relationship. So if you are seeing the friendship, which is a freely chosen association, thereby it is helping the people or an individual to develop a common thinking pattern, okay, and behaving when they are entering into the relationship. So When when two persons are entering into the friendship relation, there they are promoting or cultivating the mutual love, trust, respect, unconditional acceptance between each other, so that they will be having a relationship with no formalities, and the individuals will be enjoying their presence. Okay, so each other, they will be enjoying the each other's presence. So that type of relationship is known as friendship. Then coming to the next one, the family. So if you're seeing the family, see, so many relationship can develop within the family. So a family, if you're seeing, it is a group of individuals bounded together by the common interest. Okay, so that common interest people, they will be living together, and there they will be establishing some role, some identity. They are promoting the growth of the individuals within them. Also, even if some conflicts are arising, they will be trying to solve it. Okay, so that type of relationship you can see in a family type of relationship. And in that family type, see, it can be a marriage. Okay, so a marriage relationship can come. Then the relationship between a brother and a sister, that is brotherhood and sisterhood. Then the relationship between the parents, so everything will come under the family. So if you're seeing the brother and sisterhood, see, somebody, they will be having the common interest, they will be doing the common deeds, they are the fellow members and the people, and they will be sharing a same interest. Okay, they are bounded together and they will be sharing the same interest. So that type of relationship will come under the family. So it can be a marriage relationship, a brotherhood, sisterhood. So those type of relationship will come under the family. Next is romantic relationship or love relationship. So informalized intimate relationship, you can call it as an informalized intimate relationship. And this is characterized by the concepts of passion, intimacy, and the commitment. Okay, so whenever an individual, they coming in the romantic type of relationship, they will be getting deeply attached to each other, and they will share a special bond. So whenever people are sharing a special type of bond between two, and when they are getting each other attached so much by the concept of passion, intimacy, and commitment, that type of relationship is known as romantic relationship. And the last one is the professional relationship. So everybody knows the professional relationship, a very small group communication or a relationship which is maintained in an organization. Okay, so there we may be calling them as colleagues, or it can be a teacher student relationship, even that is also a professional relationship. Then the nurses working together, that is also a professional relationship. So that type of relationships are known as professional relationships. So these are the four type of interpersonal relationship. Friendship, which is a freely chosen association. Family, a group of individuals where they are bounded together by the common interest, they will be, that type of relation is family. The romantic relationship, where there arises a concept of passion, intimacy, and commitment. And the professional relationship. Moving on to our next slide, that is the phases of interpersonal relationship. So what are the phases of interpersonal relationship? So if you see, it is starting from the, see, the down step, that is the pre-interaction phase, introductory phase, working phase, and the terminatory phase. So these are the four phases of interpersonal relationship: pre-interaction phase, introductory phase, working phase, and the terminatory phase. So what happens in the pre-interaction phase? So in the pre-interaction phase, here the nurse is in the planning phase, where she is collecting the information about the client before the first visit. Okay, and also in that history, she will be collecting the history regarding what is the name of the client, age of the client, address, medical history. So before meeting the client in person, when she is collecting all the information, and she will also plan what to do when she will be in contact with the client, or when she will be directly contacting or communicating with the client. So that phase is known as pre-interaction phase. Next is the introductory phase or the orientation phase. Okay, so in the introductory or the orientation phase or the pre-helping phase, the nurse will start with an initial encountering with the patients. That is, she will be first meeting with the client, she will be introducing herself, and also she will be explaining the goals of the visit. So here the nurses will exactly clarify what is her role, what is her responsibility within the therapeutic boundaries to the patient. Also, here the nurse will be identifying the problems of the client. So whenever she is identifying, whenever she starts deeply inside the relationship to find out the problems, it can be divided into three substages. That is, opening the relationship, clarifying the problem, and formulating the policies. Okay, so opening the relationship, she will start the relationship and she will try to maintain it. So in clarifying the problem, what the nurse is doing, the nurse will be identifying the patient's problem and she will try to settle down the needs of the client. So that is clarifying the problem. And formulating the policies, here what the nurse is doing, she will be avoiding the vagueness or ambiguity what she is having related to any terminologies or related to any procedures, and so that she can able to avoid the uneasiness where the client will be feeling because of her attitude. So in order to avoid that, she will be clarifying with all the approaches, that is the empathetic approaches where she have to put for the client. So that she will be doing in the introductory phase. Next is the working phase. So in the working phase, actually what the nurse is doing, which is divided into two substages, that is exploring and understanding the thoughts and taking the action. So here what the nurse is doing, the patients are made to understand the problems by exploring all the available resources which is there related to the problem or by which we can able to solve the problem. Also, the nurse will be helping the patient by extending the assistance. The nurses will be giving the assistance to the patient so that the problems of the client can be solved, and also the nurse will be taking action within the all the things. The nurse will be doing the things which she has planned, and so that the goal of the client can be met. Okay, and also she will be prioritizing the problems of the client, and then she will be meeting the needs of the client. And the last is the termination phase, where the professional relationship between the nurse and the client will come to an end. That is the termination phase. So that will be including summarizing the points, reviewing the process. Whenever she is reviewing the nursing process, here the nurse will be finding out whether the patient needs has already been met or whether some problems are there in order to meet, and what is the effort of the nurse and the patient in the previous phases. Also, the to maintain the emotional balance by both the parties, the nurse will be trying to terminate the relationship. So that is the last phase. So these are the four phases of the interpersonal relationship: pre-interaction phase, introductory phase, working phase, and the termination phase. So in the pre-interaction phase, what the nurse is doing, it is a planning phase where she will try to collect the information. Introductory phase, a relationship is established and the nurse will be identifying the problem, and then she is formulating the policy so that the needs of the client can be met. Then in the working phase is the exact phase where the nurse is working, nurse and the patient is working towards or striving towards to attain the goals. That is the working phase. And the last is the termination phase, where the nurse is reviewing the nursing process or reviewing the complete process of care, and then she will be terminating the relationship. So that is the termination phase. So next, what is the task of a nurse in the phases of interpersonal relationship? So in the interpersonal relationship, in the pre-interaction phase, the nurse will be analyzing on strength and limitations. She will be gathering the data about the patient and she will be planning for the first meeting. In the introductory phase, she will be establishing the relationship, gathering the data about strength and weakness of the client, and she's defining the problems of the client, and also she is setting the goals. In the working phase, the further data is gathered and she is promoting the patient's cooperation, providing with him the opportunities for the independent functioning, and also she will be evaluating the problems and redefining the goals. And in the last phase, the termination phase, she is reviewing the progress of the therapy and she is formulating the plans for the future needs. Also, she will be terminating the relationship. So these are the tasks of a nurse in the different phases of interpersonal relationship. So moving on to our next line, that is the components. So 4 components are necessary to maintain the relationship: rapport, empathy, warmth, and genuineness. So what is a rapport? Rapport, it is nothing but an understanding is established between two persons. So here the two persons will be the patient and the nurse, so that the patient will be feeling comfortable and he will be self-disclosing him to the nurse, so that the client will be knowing each and every problems of the client. Next is empathy, ability to put oneself into other person's situation. That is, the nurse will be thinking, standing and thinking in the part of the patient, and then she will be acting accordingly. That is known as empathy. Warmth means it is the ability to help the client, that the client will be feeling that somebody is there to take care of him. Somebody is providing comfort to the patient. So that acceptance of the client as a unique individual is known as warmth. Last is the genuineness. So nurse, whenever she is giving care to the client, she should know her limitations, her thoughts, feelings, values, everything, and she should provide the care with genuinity. So these are the 4 components in maintaining an interpersonal relationship. That is rapport, empathy, warmth, and genuineness. So what are the human relations in the context of nursing? Okay. So in the context of nursing, nurse will be having the relationship with the client. Nurse will be having the relationship with the family. She will be having the relationship with the health team members. And also she will be having the relationship with the whole society. So that is the human relations in context of nursing. So whenever that nurse-client relationship arises, the nurses are the professional helpers of the client. The client is the one who is seeking the help, and the nurse will be creating a care with a skill, so that the client will be helped professionally in order to attain the health. So that type of relation is known as nurse-client relationship. Okay. Next is nurse-family relationship. So nurse forms a relationship with the entire family of the client. So it can be the client's family. So whenever she is maintaining a relationship with the entire family, that is nurse-family relationship. Next is nurse health team relationship. See, whenever a nurse is providing care to the client, she has to interact with the different members of a health team, and so then only she can able to work effectively, she can able to function effectively. So that type of relation is nurse health team relationship. Also the nurse will be maintaining a relationship with the community. She will be establishing that relationship, and this type of relation, it can be occurred using the mass media of communication such as televisions, radio, so that she will can able to hear a sort of information to the all the community related to any healthcare problems. That is nurse community relationship. So the nurse will be usually maintain 4 types of relationship. That is, the nurse will be maintain the relationship with the client, she will maintain the relationship with the family, with the health team, and with the community. So whenever an interpersonal relationship is there, some barriers are there where we cannot able to maintain that relationship. So what is that? Mistrust. Okay. So whenever there is lack of trust between the partners, that is mistrust. One barrier. Next is rejection. Sometimes among 2 members in a relationship, one will be thinking that the partner will not like me, or he or she will not accept me. That fear of rejection is also a barrier in order to maintain the good relationship. Next is need for approval. So everybody requires that need for approval from the partner. So whenever you're acting, feeling, behaving, so you think that your partner should approve you. If you're not getting that, again, that will be a barrier. Feeling of insecurity, security. So it means that whenever you feel insecure that your partner is not talking to you, not taking care of you, so that is another barrier. Next, inflexibility. In a relationship, we have to be flexible one or the other way so that we can able to bring about the best relationship. If that flexibility is not there, you call it as inflexibility. That is the next barrier. Autonomy, lack of autonomy. Whenever your partner is not allowing you to think or believe or act in a way you like, that is lack of autonomy. Next barrier. Lack of communication. If you are not actively listening, if you are not responding properly, that the open, free problem solving, if it is absent. So whenever there is a lack of communication, barrier arises between the relationship. Fear of intimacy. That is, partner when getting close with you and know about the real who you are. So whenever somebody will be getting deeply close with you, you will think that who you are or exactly what you are, that will be revealing to that person. That you exactly don't like that. That is fear of intimacy. Need for the power. So in a relationship maintaining, suppose say 3 or 4 people are there. Among the 3 or 4 people, 2 or 3 are thinking I should be the commandable one. I should be the powerful one in the relationship. I need power. What I am telling that everybody has to follow. That is need for power. So if that power, need for power is there with among any individual, then there will be arising the barrier between your relationship. If anybody is responsible, that is, if any person is not responsibly behaving within a relationship, that will finally end up with the barrier in the interpersonal relationship. No self-esteem. If you're feeling that you have given no value by your partner, that time then you may be trying the relationship will be breaking in between. The lack of healthy role model, like we don't know what is exactly a healthy relationship. There is no appropriate example set for that. Yeah. So that time we are lacking with that. We don't know which type of relationship is a healthy relationship. So that is also a barrier. Then if the partner is not encouraging you, it means the lack of positive reinforcement from the partner related to anything. It will end up in the breaking of a relationship. Or if all these things, it can lead towards a chronic depression. So these are the barriers in the maintaining the interpersonal relationship. That is mistrust, fear of rejection, need for approval, insecurity, inflexibility, lack of autonomy, lack of communication, fear of intimacy, need for power, irresponsible, low self-esteem, lack of healthy role model, lack of positive reinforcement, and chronic depression. So when the barriers are there, we have to overcome the barriers. How we can overcome the barriers? See, first thing is that whenever you are finding a problem in your relationship, you have to admit that a problem is existing in the relationship and you want to identify the symptoms of that. So what are the symptoms you can identify? Whenever there is a barrier, whenever there is a problem between the relationship of the two persons, maybe the one will not be talking with you. Okay, maybe the one will be showing anger. So this not talking, showing anger, these all are the symptoms. Okay, so that you have to identify. Then you should list down what are all the barriers. Try to overcome or share the barriers with your partner. Try to share the problems with your partner. Then what you have to do? You have to compare the responses of you and the partner, like how you can able to overcome it, and related to that, keeping in that you have to develop a plan, like how you can able to overcome the barrier. You have to the plan thing you have to put it into action, and then after working out the plan, again you have to confirm that whether there is any barrier present or not. So if again the barrier is present, you have to come back to the first. Okay, so this is how you can able to overcome the barriers. So for overcoming the barriers, you have to admit the problem what you are having, and you have to identify the symptoms. You have to list out the barriers. You have to share the problems and the barriers with your partner. You have to compare the responses of you and your partner. Then you have to develop the action plan. You have to work on it, and then you should again find out whether any barriers are present or not, and then again you have to come back to the first step. Okay. So this is the method to overcome the barriers in an interpersonal relationship. Here. So in our today's class, we have saw regarding what is interpersonal relationship, what are the purposes of it, what are the types of interpersonal relationship, what are the phases in it, what is the relationship between a nurse and a person, or what are all the different types of relationship a nurse is maintaining, then what are the barriers in interpersonal relationship, and how we can able to overcome it. I hope you have understood this class. Thank you, dear students.